And we're live.
And we're not live, but we're live to tape. Welcome to another episode of All Aboard. We're still here. We have a lot to discuss, but before we do get into it, and before we even get to LK's Tim and Canton impression right now, I think all of us have, we all heard some rumblings and some conversations from our incestuous friend in Australia. I think that we all really took his comments to heart. And so I think each of us prepared something to say to just share how important and valuable we think his opinion is. So, gentlemen, if you don't mind, I'd actually like to go first. All right. So here you go. Well, that about wraps it up. Ned, what about you? Do you have any thoughts and praises for him?
That was pretty powerful stuff, Adam. I actually prepared some notes. So let me just start from here. That's what I have to say about that.
Wow. I can't agree more. LK, what about you?
About it.
Well, I definitely don't want to condone driving and holding your phone. I definitely
volumes.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that pretty much sums up how important and valuable we think his opinion is, and we think of him as a person. So moving on, we actually wanted to take a minute. I know he's not going to pop in for multiple reasons, but we want to congratulate our producer, our favorite YouTube producer. He is an incredibly hardworking intern. I know that the OG said it. Everyone says it, and there isn't a lot that needs to be said in addition to it. But we just wanted to take our moment to thank Justin, congratulate Justin. This is awesome, and we are really so happy for you.
Yep. There was a lot of big news this week on the show, and that was the big one because. I don't know, from our standpoint, it came out of nowhere, which is great. So, Justin, invest all that mic money well. I mean, you're a young man. I know it's thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. But
what's that futures? What's that that futures trading program that they're that they're doing? There you go. Use it for that.
So take that mic money and be well. But no, really, it's excellent news. Also, he gets a chance now to actually step up even more and be the backup for Steve, from what, if I understood correctly. So it looks really, really promising.
Yep.
No, yeah, it's a great opportunity. Justin, just take it with both hands and go with it. I mean, hard work pays off, and that's what's showing right now. Continue to be great, dedicated to the show, and things will go your way. So
absolutely. And I think that it also speaks volumes to the fact that, Ned, you touched on it. Kirk basically saying that, Justin is going to be the number 2 now behind Steve. First of all, we know how much Kirk values Carano as a backup. So the fact that he's willing to put Justin there, but also the fact that he's willing to have Justin in a role where Justin will be potentially talking on air on the main show. I think that really it says a lot, and we're all really proud of you. And I also just want to quickly address that yes, LK is a big fan of the saying that imitation is the most sincerest form of flattery, and that's why he's not just doing his best Tim and Canton today; he's also doing his best Poppy Internet today. But
this is a special.
Hey, hold on. I love both of those guys, so it's to me that's a compliment. So
absolutely.
Well, this is also a special daytime recording.
Correct. Correct. Usually we record at night.
Yeah. So it's So
and then
it's 10:30 in the morning, man. I just woke up. You guys interrupted my sleeping beauty.
I mean, do you not have a job? Like, are you one of the interns? Is that why you and Will get along? Are you guys on the same schedule?
I do.
That's the other big news too.
Yeah, I do West Coast time. I start at 12. I started 12 p.m. today.
Yep. Well, moving off there, yeah, that's definitely a big news, Ned. But I honestly, like, I think it's been a little heated to discuss that on Twitter, and I think that all that said, best of luck to Will. We all are big Will fans, and we hope nothing but the best for him. I actually was finishing building my sukkah this morning while I was listening to him on his call, which was enjoyable. And yes, folks, that's SUKKAH. Google it.
Yep.
But another bit of
Are you Jewish, Adam? Are you Jewish?
No, I'm not. Another bit of Twitter heat as it relates to KMS this week was definitely around Tuesday's Lance Minahan Obgyn episode. And by the way, I say Obgyn. I say that because hang on, here we go. This is going to be my first fun fact. I have a friend who's obviously I have many friends that are doctors, and one of them I heard say Obgyn, and I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Technically, it's actually pronounced Obgyn, and all of us who say OBGYN are wrong. So while I typically say OBGYN, I thought that I would educate a few people and let people know.
That's bullshit. That's bullshit. As someone that has watched all Grey's Anatomy seasons, you're completely wrong.
And as someone who speaks perfect English.
Yeah. Well, he does.
Listen, I'm a doctor. I'm a Grey's Anatomy graduate doctor. So please respect my.
Ned, what did you think of the episode?
Well, as one of my oldest and best friends is now a retired OBGYN obstetrician is how he says it. But he's Goyim, so maybe it's a Jewish doctor thing.
Exactly.
So yeah. So I thought the episode was very good. It was just the right length. But I thought it was very good. But I will say it wasn't Cullen, but Cullen was a major production, big deal. I think I was on it. We all had a lot of people had active roles in it. It wasn't that level, but I don't think it was meant to be. So it was the pussy extraction, the triple pussy extraction was a remarkable feat by Dr. Lance. So, cheers.
Did you get bothered?
Okay, what about you? Oh my God. It haunts my dreams. I want that to I hate what that Steve's been playing that up. I want that all of those sounds, like the oh my God, it haunts my dreams.
Yeah, no, it
didn't bother me at all.
Oh, it's a rough sound.
Yeah, jeez. Oh, how did that not bother you?
Okay, he's there.
It's just background sound.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
But what? So I know I tweeted something, and Kirk actually said it also on the show. Oh, we lost LK.
Ooh.
I said something, Ned, on Twitter, and I got a lot of blowback from the people you would expect to get it from, and a few others that I was surprised to get from. But Kirk also said it himself, and he got a couple calls about it. But what's your take on the idea that if you can be I think you can still be a fan of the show. Absolutely, 100%. Not like these type of shows, the Cullens, the Lance Minahan, the Hammer. But I think that a part of you, whether and I'm not questioning your fanhood, you can still be a diehard fan. But I think a part of you doesn't fully grasp the joke and the intricacies of Kirk and Kirk's show and what Kirk's goals are as an entertainer and as a podcaster. And that's why I think that's why I said if you don't like those episodes, you probably don't get the show. I'm not questioning fanhood, but I think that you miss a little bit of it. And Kirk said the same thing. But what do you guys think? Am I putting myself on a high horse and being a dickhead here, or do you agree?
I kind of disagree. I mean,
okay.
you don't, you're still a fan even if you didn't like it.
Oh,
but my thing is like, why do you have to vocalize it? If you didn't like it, okay, next, so.
Yeah.
So I just don't like people go out of their way to shit on something. It's like, then if you didn't like it, then move on. Who cares?
No, I disagree, Nat. I think it's fine to voice your opinion as long as you justify. I know nobody. We're not equals, right? So if you don't like something, it's okay to voice it and say, hey, I didn't like because X, Y, and Z. But what's useless and worthless are the attacks. Just say, hey, I didn't like it. Okay,
right,
good, move on. You don't need to say, hey, you're a shitty host because you did this. I hate you. No, it's personal opinion. I personally liked it. I think Kurt does things in different ways that I enjoy. You know, it was a different side of him. You know, and it just proves that he's a genius. You know.
Yep.
So
yeah. And yeah, I mean,
it's okay to criticize. Just don't be an asshole.
Sure. I agree. I completely agree with that. I have no problem with vocalizing opinions. And again, like I said, I think I was misunderstood a little bit in the sense that I really wasn't trying to question anyone's fanhoods. I was just saying that I think that there's a little bit of what Kirk is and what he wants the show to be that, you know, is probably just that I think you're not be fully on board with, but yet I still think you're as diehard of a fan as I am. Like, I would never question anyone's fanhood like that.
Look, Frank Sinatra sang "Send in the Clowns." I mean, come on, should he have done it? No. Would I criticize Sinatra for doing it? Hell no. You look at the body of the work, and you actually at least respect the balls to do something different.
Correct. That's the thing. I have no issue. Also, and again, I think this touches on what both of you were saying, where if you didn't like it, fine. I mean, again, I have no issue with you saying that, but I do think that it's weird if you don't either appreciate or understand why, you know, Kirk would want to do any of these things and why he would want to take these chances.
The question asked, but did you jack it to the episode? Because I didn't. I didn't. I never would. No.
Oh, well played, especially on my son.
Listen, I think I like it.
I won't finish that sentence.
Yeah, right.
I'm not gonna finish the sentence.
Sorry.
Okay, go. No, it's fine. I don't want to finish the sentence.
Oh, we lost him.
Oh, we lost him again. It's fine. I'm not gonna finish that sentence. Looking forward to our
we got a van.
I'm just looking forward to our -20 score, and then you know the fighting can all
-20 out of 100.
Oh God. Maybe if we talked more about kangaroos and you know about having sex with our sisters or some shit like that.
Vegemite sandwiches.
Exactly. Well. All right. So yeah. Listen, it was definitely a.
Why, guys? Why are you giving attention to this guy? Just move on. Stop with the fucking jokes. Forget about it. You know.
Okay. Are you at a turnpike? Are you at the turnpike rest stop behind? Is that what I see behind you? Are you on the Florida Turnpike?
Yeah, it's Carano.
Oh God. Well, listen, if you want to, I hear there are some good cowboy ranches over there, so you can go for that if you prefer. Anyways, yeah. So
hey, hold on.
Yes.
Hold on. Good segue, because Go for Geary now is explicit and only political account. So it's a good segue to our next topic. Maybe we can be friends now that we all have the same political view. So,
well, I don't know if we all have the same political view. But you know, as explosive as the feedback on the Lance Minahan episode was, you know, I think that the election news has really amped up a lot this week. First, what we had originally planned on only talking about in terms of the political side was the debate, which was Ned specifically opted to not watch it. I DVR'd it. LK watched it. And I think that, you know, there's a lot there that we can and are ready to unpack. But then, it's a good thing we record in the mornings now, because breaking news overnight, President Trump and the First Lady have COVID. Vice President Pence and the Second Lady do not. But this is obviously a lot happening. So let's start with the debate. Let's start there, and then we'll move on to the COVID conversation. So, Ned, you chose not to watch it. And I saw a ton of feedback in general from people that ranged from this was just pure entertainment. Like, you know, from my perspective, I watched it in the same vein that I watch reality TV show reunions just to see the fighting and it's fun. To people saying that this is the most disrespectful shit they've ever seen on a presidential debate stage and that everyone should be friends. And, you know, why can't it be better sportsmanship type? What are your thoughts? Why did you not watch it? What do you think from you know, you're the history buff promo. You know, what do you think from a historical perspective on debate debate norms and how they should be done. And why didn't you watch it?
Because Star Trek Next Generation on the HDNI network had the episode where Worf was accused of paying for the crimes that his father
Very
committed.
good episode.
It was awesome.
Very good
I
episode.
love that episode.
Very good.
And he had his hidden younger brother, and it was a big deal with the
very
Klingon
good
Council. Much more entertaining than that shit show that you guys had to torture yourself with. So
agree to disagree.
Yeah, well, that's because we become a entertain me now society rather than a reflective and thoughtful society. So history buffs touched on the Lincoln to Douglas debates that we videoed last night, which it's pretty good. Promo number two. And one of the aspects was, if you just as a teaser, because it's scintillating conversation, is that during the Lincoln Douglas debates, the first speaker got up and spoke for 60 minutes uninterrupted. Then the response was 90 minutes by the next person uninterrupted, and then a 30-minute response. So you had 21 hours of debates on the same topic. Jesus. A lot different than later on. And then what happened?
60, 90, 30 is not 21.
30, yeah, it's not 21.
Or were that
21 over the course of the there were 7 debates. There were 7 of them.
Okay.
So it was a real entertainment. Talk about reality TV. That's people would go in from other states to watch. By the time they got the publicized, people coming from other states to watch these debates.
Has there ever been I'll let you continue, but I'm just curious because I just feel like it has to have happened. Has there ever been a debate where things got physical that you know of?
No, the closest came was the New York Senate race where I forgot the guy's name, but he approached Hillary Clinton. He walked across the stage and asked Hillary to sign a document. She was she felt she was being attacked. Yeah. No, but you touched on it on we were discussing before we went on. The 2000 debate between Gore and Bush was a perfect example of where if Gore had just kept his mouth shut, he was winning the debate. He's clearly the more qualified candidate. He could have let George Bush talk himself into circles, which he was doing. But instead, Adam, you remember as an infant.
I do.
You remember.
I wasn't an infant. I was in high school.
You're a toddler.
I was in high school.
But I clearly remember watching the debates because I used to be a big political junkie. But watching those debates and Gore would be off camera, but sighing audibly, tisking, being a total asshole.
Yep.
And of course, Bush ignored it, but instead it was distracting to the point where I realized I don't like Al Gore. And I was good. I don't remember who I you know what? I didn't vote for either one of them. I do.
Would you prefer that type of passive aggressive shit versus what Trump did?
Me talk, you talk. Sorry, John Dennis is right. Me talk. This is not a radio talk show. Get your point out. I would. Trump should have let him just ramble on. He would have.
I agree with that.
He was overly aggressive. He won't be the next time. For the next one,
I agree with.
He's going to have a much worse moderator, by the way.
Yes. Okay, go.
I think I'm on a delay here. But let me try to get my topic, add my opinion. As someone that's also a political junkie, like you said you used to be, I like the combative aspect of debates. I think it was too much this time. The constant interruptions kind of sucked. I think that whenever Biden was about to fumble on the 1-yard line, Trump came and interrupted him.
Yep.
So we never got to see Biden fumbling.
Yep.
Which would be awesome.
I agree.
I think people say, "Oh, Trump was interrupting. He was rude." But how about "Hey, shut up, man"? That was extremely rude. In my book, telling someone to shut up is more rude than the interruptions. But anyway, I think none of them put any thoughts or plans forward and presented to society, right? I think the debate didn't help anyone to make a decision. I also don't think people that are watching debates are watching because they want to pick a candidate. People that watch those debates already have their candidates.
Correct.
Well, I think the moderator didn't help a lot.
Nope.
I think the next ones will be even worse.
Worse.
I would like to see more, conversation.
So I agree.
And see them battle, but on a good way. Combat
right.
ideas.
So I agree with that. I do think that I'm actually honestly not 100% sure who I'm voting for. I hate what the liberal left has become. I also like a lot of what Trump has done. I mean, I love his foreign policy. Obviously, what he has done for Israel is second to none in my mind, and that's hugely important to me. But that said, I also do acknowledge that as someone who is more socially liberal, that there are issues with Trump as president, and I also will say I didn't vote for him the first time around. I don't know who I'll vote for, but to your point, LK, you said, John Featherson tweeted the other day, "Yes, the POTUS debate was a mess. Who said this? Keep yapping. Will you shut up, man? No, I can't answer that. You're a clown. You're a fool. Antifa is not an organization. You won't hear about this in the press, but who said that?" And obviously, we all know that it was Biden who said that. And I agree to a point. Listen, I love Featherston. We also know that, he will never say a kind word about the left, no matter what. But, there is a point where the way that the media, in my mind, reacts to these debates is what really, I think, sways people. Because, you have those people in middle America, or the people who aren't sure what they want to do. And you see all the media talk about how Trump was horrible, and then you see these clips where Biden was just as bad. Also, Biden was interrupting too. I actually personally love the idea of them doing a cut of the mic. Listen, Ned, you just went on for 20 minutes
right now.
You just went on for 20 minutes. I don't want to hear that. But what's your?
We need a tangent.
No, but what's your take on that idea of them of the moderator being able to cut the mic, especially knowing, as they talked about in the show this morning, that the next moderator, and Ned, you alluded to this, is a former Biden aide. So what is your thoughts on the moderator being able to control the mic? Should it be done automatically, or should the moderator have a choice?
Well, it has to be the moderator, but I don't trust the moderator unless you can do it. Unless you would have someone impartial off camera,
right?
A referee who will do it. So it's not under the moderator's control either.
Well, why can't it be automated, where it's like, okay, you get 2 minutes, and then the second your 2 minutes is up, that mic is going off no matter what.
Yeah.
I think that also probably helps, but then you will run into issues of, well, wait a second, actually, hang on, he has a good response for this. Let him go.
He should have finished it. To be honest, you got 2 minutes. You can finish it. Come on. So that might be the solution. The question is, it have to work perfectly, because you'll have both sides saying, the mic wasn't turned on at the proper time, and he didn't get the full, so you got to be perfect about that. Or you can just do it manually off screen, not the moderator. I don't trust this guy. I don't trust the moderator at all. So he's like a never Trumper. You can't have that. I don't care if you are or not. You're just in the wrong job. Job's not for you.
I mean,
also,
I agree.
Why don't we have someone of color doing this?
Well, I mean, listen, I completely agree with all of that.
Two white guys doing this. Come on.
And I did make a point to my wife. I was like, when I was watching the debate, I love how the left is talking all about how we need to, stop just having old rich white guys, and I definitely agree with that. But then you look at the stage; it's 3 old rich white guys on stage talking.
Shamefully, this is the best we can offer.
Yeah, I mean that's ultimately what what my takeaway was. Yes, it was entertaining. I don't think anyone won. I agree with you that I think Trump got in his own way by interrupting sometimes. But it's just pathetic that this is the best we got.
Okay, go, because we've already talked this issue dead. What do you think about having the moderator control the microphone?
I think I agree in parts. I think sometimes there should be debate and battles, but I think there should be some control. What scares me is that the next 2 moderators are very left leaning. So if they have a shut off button, they're gonna make Biden look good.
Well, do you think that they should automate it instead, where it's like, okay, so we know you get 2 minutes now. The second those 2 minutes are done, your mic goes off and the other one goes on, and then 90 seconds for the responses, things like that.
I think should be a mix, right? A free form, and also a shut on, shut off kind of time approach.
But speaking of, though, the next debate, who knows if it'll even happen? I'm trying to look up. Does anyone know what the actual date is? And I
Nope.
apologize for not pulling the news.
I think it's next week.
October 15th. Sorry, it's Trump and Biden in Miami, October 15th. Now, okay, like I said before, Trump tested positive. They announced it he announced it overnight on Twitter, which, you know what, I'm going to start there. I saw a lot of response where people saying that they're angry that he announced it on Twitter, that there wasn't no formal press release, there was no formal briefing from the press secretary. I don't understand that. I think it's 2020. This is how our president interacts in real time, and I think that it's totally fine. But do either of you have any strong feelings about that? Do you think it's ridiculous that people cared?
It's ridiculous that people care, because if it was Obama, people would be celebrating that he's using social media. So It's a known issue. You know, it is what it is. But what I think is, once Trump's cured, his blood will actually be the solution for Corona.
Antibody, God.
Jesus. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're gonna extract the vaccine out of his blood.
They're already starting. The jokes are already starting. You know, what do Hillary, Biden, and COVID have in common? Trump beat all three.
Well,
so should I go down to Miami? Where is it going to be on the 15th? I should go down there. You know.
Yeah, I'll let you know. You can anal live reporter.
Yeah, exactly.
But so listen, if it's 14 days, right? If it's 14 days from the 2nd, then you know the 15th isn't going to work for 16th, quarantine. Right. So it'd have to be the 16th. So who knows if the second debate will even happen?
Unless they counted yesterday.
Correct, which it could be, because I know that the 14 days are from the last time you see the person.
You know, there's going to be no problem. Those two are going to get through it fine. But I am worried about Melania. She's my girl. She's been my girl since I first saw her on Trump's show when she used to sit on the side. I didn't even know I'm like, who the hell is that? Wow. So she's always been like my high inside fastball. I can't resist it. Resist it.
But Ned, you're right. I agree that I mean, I think that even in the worst case scenario, if we want to play that out, he has the best medical help and he's asymptomatic right now. He's going to be fine. But let's say though, that in a week from now, he turns where it's not like, I'm not talking about I'm not talking about death. I'm just talking about it being bad enough that he's hospitalized, right? In the lead up to the election, in the potentially even going a few weeks and hitting election day. Is this something that you think will hurt him, have no effect? Will it help him?
It's well, he'll play it so that it helps him. I don't think he's ever smoked. This, you know, what we can all agree on. If you think it's the flu or this deadly virus, it's an upper respiratory problem for those people who smoke or who have asthma or pre-existing conditions. He doesn't have pre-existing conditions. He is in the threshold of the higher, you know, age mortality rate, right?
Yep.
And she's not yet. She's down like my age. So, I think it'll all work for him. I think he'll come out fine, you know?
Yep. So, and he'll also have access to all the medications anyways. So
can you imagine the bragging he's going to do when he?
Oh yeah.
Yes, this is your president. I've beaten it. Yes.
Yep. Okay, what do you think? Are you there?
Okay.
Do we have a
You're frozen in the worst possible facial expression ever, LK.
Oh gosh.
Flu.
Oh god, this is horrible. LK, you're out. You're out.
Flu.
All we could hear was flu through a robotic voice.
Go ahead and record. Just turn off your camera. I think I think your audio's good.
All right, I think we lost him. No, I agree with that. I think that I'm very curious to see what happens with. I know Biden's being tested today, and I saw a lot about all of those around the White House. Now there's going to be a huge slew of people that need to get tested, and also everyone.
I've already seen a lot of people come back who have been in close contact with them. Come back negative. The only one is Hope Hicks. God,
she's the one who
God protect her.
But that doesn't matter though. So that's the problem, and that's where there's that level of misunderstanding where you can be in contact today, right? Like let's say, God forbid, Ned, you were in contact with someone today, and let's say 3 days, like you test negative tomorrow, right? Yep. In a week from now, you could still test positive.
Correct.
So They will have to test regularly, and they'll have to do their quarantining. But the other thing is, I don't know if you heard Christie and Giuliani talking, but they prepped him in a room full of people for the debate, and they all got tested right before, and they all came back negative. So none of them were wearing masks, and they were in a indoor closed room while he was talking and loudly. So
Sure.
a lot of spit and molecules out there. So if he was positive, then that could be a huge issue with them. So they're all now being tested and are under watch. And someone like Christie, who is morbidly obese,
Could be.
He could be a
Giuliani,
real problem.
who's old,
Very old. Yep. And who knows what else they have. But I think that what this might do in my mind is it might help make Trump a little more personable to some of the
We'll see.
those last few people who don't have it.
I think minds have been
sure.
made up, Adam. Minds have been.
I think so.
Okay,
I think
guys,
for the most part they have been. Yes.
Yeah.
So let me just put my opinion in. I may sign off. You guys can do the last topic. But
Yep.
I was,
Yep.
I
We'll
was
all
talking
go.
to some
Yeah,
friends on Facebook, and on Facebook they were like, because I posted something like Biden will not last 6 months in the job. Kamala will take over, and most of the comments were in the sense like, hey, we don't care as long as Trump gets out of office. So you guys were saying about Trump getting bad, maybe getting sick and couldn't run. My point is anything to prevent Democrats to take over. So I'll vote Biden. I'll vote whoever they nominate, to replace Trump if he has to be replaced. I don't care as long as the Democrats don't win. I will vote to anyone. So I'm not worried about Trump. He's gonna be fine. He's gonna be the
Neither am I.
cure for COVID.
Right. So I agree. I'm not worried about him. You and I disagree there, LK, because I'm not a vote by party lines. I'm more of a vote by policy, and who has the policies that I overall will agree with. And I think that changes a lot.
But doesn't the party own the policy?
Right, but yes and no. I mean, for example, right. I mean, I am certainly fiscally conservative, and Israel is one of my biggest priorities for foreign policy. But socially, I'm very liberal, so I don't want someone to me. Pence is not Pence is a little bit scary to have in office.
Yeah. I never have voted down any party line. I've always been a registered independent, so
Yep.
I've always picked the person or their
Me
policy
too.
over the party.
Yep.
But I think that's all out the window now. I didn't vote for Trump in 2016. I'm voting for Trump if he's a corpse in 2020. So I'm going right. I don't trust any liberal Democrat anymore. They are Antifa. They are no longer the party of even Clinton. They're, or even John Kerry. They're all out to disrupt. It's the deep state. And I don't mean to go all Channel Zero, which is a great show, but it's obvious that he is something. He is something to fear by the deep state and those in power.
Yep.
And I don't mean in our face in power.
Right.
The ones we don't see, the third level down and that are pulling the machine, pulling the.
Can we also talk about that the Proud Boy stuff and the Antifa stuff for a second? Because for me, I know that Trump came out and defended himself and clarified his statements, and I didn't hear what he said, and I wasn't really paying such close attention to it. But to me, when I heard him on air, when he said "stand by" and said, to me, it was just him flubbing his words. That's how I took it, because they just said, "Would you tell him to stand down?" And he responds with "stand by." To me, that's just messing up words. I hope that's all it is. But I find it so hard. I find it so hard to believe that Trump is racist or anything really that bad, when I personally know people in the Kushner family, and I know that he has a daughter who is an Orthodox Jew by conversion, and that he has grandkids that are Orthodox Jews. No. That means full on. That means more dedicated than I am, because she chose that. Yeah, but she chose it. I was forced it. But he has grandkids who are Orthodox Jews. And
I just got that, Adam. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
I was forced it.
Thank you. And he celebrates the holidays with them. I can't think of someone being a white supremacist and loving family members that are Jewish.
Stop. You're making excuses. He fucked up. He should have said flat out right there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, for sure.
I disavow. I do not vouch. I condemn. I do not condone. And he didn't. And that would have been, why didn't he? Why the hell didn't he?
I agree.
Stupid.
I understand his point. I think his point was, hey, listen, I'll tell them to stand by. But you guys on the other side, the Antifas, they need to stand by and make sure that the political process works and happens well, because it's always this game. One side will stand down, the other side won't. So he's like, fuck it, I'm going to
But he could have,
what I think.
Contextualizing it to your point, he could have said what I just said and then said what you said. Yeah, I do. And in the meantime, when are you going to disavow the idea of
especially when he specifically did, especially when Biden specifically refused to do that?
I mean, that would have been, you could have done both, LK.
He should have, if he played that right, that would have been, if Trump played that right, that could have been the dagger for him to play it right on his end with the Proud Boys and let Biden take the fall with the Antifa stuff. That, if he played that right, it would have been the end. And I think that he gave Biden life for that. And I don't think Biden actually stands by Antifa, just like I don't think Trump stands by the Proud Boys, but I do think Antifa runs a lot of the important people who are making decisions behind Biden.
We can't keep saying I think or I don't think. If Biden didn't come out and disavow and condemn Antifa, then I have to think then the obvious logical conclusion is he supports it.
Okay, but then in response, someone will say to you, okay, but then why are you defending the way that why would you say that Trump must have flubbed his words and
I didn't say that. He fucked up.
Okay, I'm saying I did.
Yeah, right. We shouldn't be doing that because they both, in this case, had clear opportunities to strike a firm stance, leaving no doubt, no room for interpretation.
I agree.
Okay, he said he disavows Antifa. Now, do you believe him? I don't know, right?
Too much from politicians.
Yeah.
Yep. Guys, listen, let's wrap it up there. But before we go, one quick question for you all. And I just want yeses or nos, quick answers, all right? Do you like the KMS intro? And do you like the donkey sound at the end? Because today we got both of them, and there was a lot of conversation around that. So, Ned, do you like the intro?
I was glad when they did away with the intro. I've always hated the donkey sound, but I like, what's his name? Who is that at the, I think this is reprehensible.
Yeah.
But I like, no, I'm with Kirk. I hate the donkey sound. Hate it. That's a Steve thing of a braying ass. And no, it's not. It's past.
Okay. What about you? Do you like the intro?
I don't like the intro. I like the outro.
Okay.
You like the donkey? You like that?
Yeah, I do.
Really?
I like both.
It's 3 seconds. I always turn it off.
I like both. I actually have, listening back to older episodes though, it's funny to me because I know that they just jump in and just go right away and just jump right into it. But the way it used to be was he would do an ad read and then Steve would just sneak it in post production.
Right.
And so now thinking about that, it's funny. So I like the way they did it today where it was in the beginning. But with that in mind, just so that everyone is aware, we are doing away with our horrible intro, which is my voice screaming all aboard. And that's why I wanted to bring that up and force the hand on that one a little bit.
Yeah.
So with that.
One last thing. Actually, last
you are paying for it, so that's fine. I'm fine with
that. Done.
Coincidentally, last week, I always stop the show right at the braying ass, right?
Yep.
But you know how iTunes will continue to play the last one you left off at.
Yep.
Last week, I had 3 in a row of almost 9 seconds of the because I stop it and it went to the next one. Boom, 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 boom.
That's funny.
And it was like, wow, it was awful.
I love it.
Good riddance.
Well, listen, we're still around. We're not going anywhere. There will be no final show. And I guess all that's left to say is howdy and yeehaw.
Shalom.
Good day.
Shalom.